Alors là, on va sortir des caméras et on va s'en aller en prod. OK, on a toutes sortes de belles caméras, comme la Epic par exemple. Il va y avoir le même problème. On se fait déjà chier à décoder du 4K, le 5K, le 6K, le 9K et le mythique 28K de la super grosse caméra RED qui va sortir un jour, je ne sais pas quoi. Ça va être difficile à décoder. En attendant, on se dit, ça serait le fun d'être capable de commencer à tourner tout de suite, de commencer à monter tout de suite. Alors, l'année passée, on vous a présenté le Key Pro, le petit engin révolutionnaire qui a vraiment changé beaucoup le monde de la prod. Il y en a beaucoup dans le marché maintenant. C'est vraiment le fun parce que carrément, tu tournes avec un magnétoscope, il y a un disque dur, tu es déjà en ProRes. Tu choisis la version du ProRes que tu veux. Nous autres, on tourne avec des caméras qui shootent en 24p pour contrecarrer le problème de monter en 24p puis d'avoir du timecode qui ne fit pas. Quand tu fais de la télé, tu n'as pas le temps de faire des calculs avec une calculatrice de timecode. On tourne en 24p dans la caméra, mais on enregistre direct en 29.9.7. On fait faire le pull-down par la Key Pro. Puis on est déjà dans le format final, mais on a la qualité qu'on voulait avoir. Donc, c'est le genre de truc de time saver que tu peux avoir quand tu tournes et quand tu travailles avec ces engins-là. Encore une fois, cette année, nos amis de chez AJA qui sont venus, John Ladle, ici présent, qui va vous parler des nouveautés du NAB.
There we go. So I'll get out of the way here.
Okay.
Put the start of the show. Excellent.
Shall I?
Thank you, Marc-Andre. Go ahead. So one more quick, we'll do the video. Yeah, I was feeling a little inadequate after the red reel, so that was decent. I mean, we do post red camera. So if you guys are familiar with AJA, we've been around since '93. We're a Grass Valley broadcast-based company. We're at about 160 employees. Wow. I saw the clown on Cirque du Soleil do something similar. And we're growing fast. So, we kind of look at our company. We started looking at our company a little bit differently. We've always been in conversions. We've been doing almost all of the live event trucks across North America. We broadcast the Olympics to most of Europe, just the past Olympics here, utilizing our conversion products. And editing, we're pretty famous for partnering with Apple, Adobe, most recently Autodesk. But acquisition, the Key Pro, is a whole new division for our company. And one more. Quick Key Pro video, then we'll roll through. Dead center. So anyway, show of hands, who has had the experience of working with ProRes in Final Cut? Anyone? That's like 5 times as many as last time. There's just been a plethora of codecs out there. It's paralyzing. There's got to be 30, 40, 50 different codecs out there, from Red Camera to you name it. And this is the way it goes into Final Cut. But as far as ProRes, we can show you the original, and we can give you a virtually identical thing. And what we thought was great was, normally it takes an 8-core, 70-pound 8-core hard drives, et cetera, to encode HD. And we happen to have partnered with Apple to make the Key Pro, which allows you to do this without a computer. It's a standalone device. So right there's some of the detail. As far as green screening, is this uncompressed quality? And you can see his eyebrow here. That's why I'm not on TV. But that's exquisite detail. If you were working in post, if you looked at it differently. A lot of post has been a director of photography saying, this looks good in my viewfinder, go fix it. And if you were editing, you might just say, give me ProRes. Go ahead. So we go in, how would you say, camera petite? All the way up to the bigger cameras, next one. And then even at NAB, we were in Arri's booth. And Arri happened to have us as part of their standard equipment to do dailies. So when you're working with cameras like Red or Arri, we can take the time code out there, we can do dailies and save you from days and hours of dealing with footage you're not going to finish with. Again. So we have thousands and thousands of use, probably 5,000 or 6,000 in use. We've kind of refined the workflow. Go ahead. It's $4,000 list price, comes with a drive. On the front panel, we wanted you to walk up. We wanted this to transcend boundaries. We wanted it so easy a salesperson could operate it. You know, that was part of the test group. But can anyone guess which one might be the record or stop button? The play button. You know, so we wanted, and it's neat because we're building something new, but we also have to build it to work in trucks and TV stations that have had equipment since 1970, and they expect functions there. So we made everything controllable there. Additionally, through the interface, when you look at your iPhone, and you can control this wirelessly through a network, you pull up that whole interface. You can have the clip name and the time code and the status there. Next up. And here's the business in the back, the connectivity. Like all of our products, like the IOHD, like the Kona 3 or the Kona LHI, we have up, down, and cross conversion built in. All 4 of the outputs, CVBS, component, HDSDI, and HDMI are up, down, cross conversion. Bless you. So you could put in 720p and come out 1080i, 1080p, 480i, and have all of those unique so you can monitor on what you already have, as well as LTSI, so you can run timecode in, and you can run timecode, so if you go to multiples, the timecode matches, you drop it in Final Cut. Who's done a multicam edit in Final Cut? It's real easy. Have you ever seen the intro to Brady Bunch, where they have the windows? You just pick the window you want as it's rolling, and it's done. And if you utilize the timecode feature, it's easy. Go ahead. And so here's the connectivity via interface. So we can connect via browser. Connecting with your iPhone or iPod Touch, you actually just within Safari, you type in the IP address. You can password protect it or not, and you can control the camera. Now this is where it gets interesting on the next levels. Go ahead. With 2.0, which is coming out hopefully this month, we actually have it in use. I may or may not have mentioned last time NASCAR. You guys heard of NASCAR? I've gained more interest. They have 85. They have 85 key pros, and NASCAR is big, big, big business for sponsorship. Every single camera they have, including they have cameras in each driver, they radio frequency that back, and they capture it to a key pro. So the entirety of NASCAR runs on a key pro now, which is a big deal for us. They need 8-channel. And now the neat thing is we'll allow you to gang record. And what gang record does is you could do an 8-camera shoot and have one key pro to rule them all. So from an iPhone, if I make one of the key pros a start and stop, I can do that. Or if I change the time code in one, I can change the time code in all. So we're adding that functionality and we're coming out, but we think the gang record is going to go over well because you can set it up via time code, and that's an age-old tradition. But desktop cowboys have kind of taken over. And if you can do it in your desktop, then you can do it. Next up. So the big deal is, and I have a mobile petting zoo going around. So if you see the minis and the drive and the IO Express going around, it comes out on this little hard drive, whether it's an Express 34 hard drive or a 2.5-inch hard drive that's on the top. These hard drives can take 9 hours of ProRes LT, for example, which is a big deal. If you're not green screening, that's enormous. They're HFS Plus formatted, which is Mac formatted drive. If you happen to have some people that are still on Windows, some dead enders, $19, $29, they can get a utility, they can read it. You can mount an HFS drive. It's not rocket science anymore. So there's no transcoding or capture. It's on a regular drive. There's no file limitations. Roll it. And even these days, you know, the funniest people are adopting ProRes. Go ahead. With 5.0. So Autodesk, where's Stéphane Olivier? There he is. There's our Autodesk guy. Stephen will be back another time. But Autodesk has ProRes workflows. Avid has ProRes workflows. Adobe CS5 natively takes it. It works with your ProRes. It doesn't, for all 422 codecs, it works in real time. It just throws a wrapper on it. And when it renders it in MPEG iframe. Avid renders it in DNx HD of a corresponding nature to ProRes. Go ahead. And so ProRes is kind of the center of it all now. Next up. So what's better than one Key Pro? Yeah, tons of Key Pros. You guys are, you and my kids love tons of Key Pros. But no, this rig was actually used for MTV Spring Break. And the interesting thing is in the truck market or mobile event videography, a lot of times if you walk in that truck, you'll see one HD cam deck, one HD cam SR deck, and then it's a hodgepodge of P2 cards. That's not a good deliverable. This guy won the contract. He does an excellent job elsewhere. But when you can tip the scales in your favor, he said, hey, every single camera you have, and he brought 13 Key Pros in, every single camera you have, you get a full ISO feed. And when MTV Spring Break got done, he handed him a FireWire drive with all the footage that was time code matched, pulled away, and took his money. So we're seeing live events. Like I said, even McDonald's Corporation has 28 of these just to do their corporate events and log commercials. Go ahead. So editing. Got our start here for most of you guys in editing. Go ahead. Big deal, Smoke on Mac. Kind of a neat thing. Autodesk always has had that air of not being touchable and big iron, and it's really interesting to see it working on such a complex software working on Mac. And the neat thing is the Kona card works, and what other card works? Oh, nothing else. Okay, just the Kona card works. Next up. It's the same Kona card, man. Same Kona card. CS5 plugins, again, we're 64-bit, real-time supported, and we also put in for our PC friends, we put Adobe ProRes real-time playback into our drivers for the PC. Kona 5, it's already out. A lot of you guys might already have it. Double transfer speed for things like HD Cam SR, progressive frame rates, multi-card support, so in event and broadcast situations, we can put more density in there. Next one. And now we have real 3D workflows. We were just demonstrating this right now today with our existing drivers and Cineform's Neo 3D. You can do muxed images to a $5,000 to $12,000 monitor, which is basically taking half resolution. I'm handing around that petting zoo. There's a Hi-Fi 3G in there. That little $690 mini converter, a Kona 3 card, Final Cut, and that monitor, and you are actually doing real 3D, like you're going to see or pay for right there. And that's the neat thing, is that Kona card's 2 years old. We're still building stuff into it, and you can still run Smoke on it. Next up. Now, with 8.0, this is the next new thing. It's probably coming out this month. It's kind of a little bit of Apple, a little bit of AJA, a little bit of Cineform. Are you showing this?
Yes, I am.
This? Wow, you're a brave man. You're braver than I even give you credit for. For a lesser man, it'd be a more arduous task. But this is true stereoscopic 3D, which you'd have to go to a $120,000 Christie projector.
Which we don't have tonight.
Which we, sir, not appearing in this book is what Monty Python had in the Holy Grail. But yeah, Christie 3D projector, which is what you get when you go to see IMAX 3D. We had that rolling in our booth at NAB. We've had it at nothing else since then. Sourcing these is not easy. If anyone has one, bring it next meeting. But again, the same Kona card, the same box of Final Cut. You add Neo 3D, which basically lets you look at stereoscopic like it's one stream, so Final Cut can see it, and you're rolling out. You're doing pixel for pixel, left eye, right eye, exactly like it appears on the screen. Next up. So again, discrete left eye, right eye. Neo 3D seems to have the head start. Bada bang. Next one up. So it's kind of real 3D workflows, and we say that between Red camera, real 2K workflows, real setups. It literally saves you hours and days and makes things possible. You know, everyone else will have it on a spec sheet. We try not to make spec sheets our final goal. We try and make a user experience of getting hired again as our end goal. Next up. Conversion, real quick on conversion. I won't bore you. Most of you guys are exciting desktop cowboys. But we did make routers, and routers make things go round and round in a facility. 16 by 16, 16 by 4. The big ta-da is kind of the pricing on this. Normally a router in this class with 1 line of delay and a more cumbersome interface is about $10,000 US. Go ahead, next. And we've put a control panel to control 4 of these. So you can just walk up, pre-program it, and control it. Next up. The ta-da is, normally one of those would cost 10,000 bucks. Made a $695 control panel, and you can rack and stack these. So you can literally build a 32 by 64 router for 10,000 bucks. Other than that, it's not too exciting. Next up. So that's all we've been up to. We hope to have something out that's exciting and you can use to make money and their life easier. Next up.
You left out the FIDO.
Oh, I did. Somehow it got skipped. FIDO, so little mini converters that if I took this camera, ran it out SDI, we could go 10 kilometers to the next destination without powering up. It super exceeds everything. They're only $445 to $645. And you can run 10 kilometers. So we're seeing a lot of that in live events, in stadiums, in colleges, in campus corporate settings. It's just more possible. And I think with a lot of today, when people are used to working wireless, they're becoming less and less accustomed or satisfied with constraints.
And it's got 2 inputs.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
No, it's got 2 inputs.
Yeah. Well, that's the densest, cheapest, and very cost-effective setup. And I think, were we raffling those?
Are we?
Yeah. So, hey. I would totally be all over Montreal if they were in. But, no, there is nothing more exciting than a Montreal game. So I feel bad there. But, someone asked me, one of my Western Canadian friends asked me, he's like, dude, when did the Blackhawks get so good? I'm like, well, we stopped doing this Euro hockey thing and we hired Canadians. So, anyway, thank you very much. Have a good day.